Hi guys, how are you doing today, my friend? Welcome back to the Two Wheels Paradise. My name is Meshak. As usual, in this channel we do motorcycle stuff, call it riding, test riding different bikes, reviews about different brands and whatever they offer, call it adventure biking, maintenance of motorcycles and so much more, including safety training. And today, what do we have here? Come on, look at this. It is a day that I've been looking up to for so long. The day that I'll have in my hands the famous Tekken 250. Have you subscribed to the channel? Come on, give me that gift, hit the subscribe button and I will appreciate. Also remember to turn on the bell icon for notifications so that next time when we upload a video, you get a notification that something so nice has just landed on your most favorite YouTube channel, the Two Wheels Paradise. Let's get down to business. We have just set out for a short test ride of this Tekken 250 and here we are. It feels like a good bike, yeah. You can give it to the designers. It's not that light, yeah. It's also not so powerful. It's a bike that a beginner can take out and have a lot of fun with. Yes, yeah. Here we are doing 50 kilometers an hour. Of course, we cannot speed up so much. This is an estate load. We also have to be vigilant about our safety and the safety of everyone else on the load. Tekken 250. It's a single cylinder 250cc. And it feels like it can be a good bike for someone who is starting to ride. If you do not have a lot of experience in riding, I believe this is a bike you can take out and have a lot of fun with. Yeah, it is quite tall. For me, with my almost 6 feet height, yeah, I'm fitting properly. I can't complain about the height. So if you are a little bit shorter than myself, you will have to hang around. But it's not heavy. Even if it is not that light, it's also not so heavy. It's a bike that is in the mid-range. I believe it is like 160 kilos. Yeah, somewhere around there, 160 kilos. The details about the torque, the horsepower, the everything are not here, not there. It's not a very famous bike on the internet based on the different designs we have. And to make it clear at this point, we have two different designs of Tekken in Kenya. We have a Tekken, the one I'm riding right now, that was imported by a company called Singring. Singring is a motorcycle shop somewhere in Parklands. I believe they are still in Parklands, owned by an Indian investor. There is another one that is called Power Tekken, and it was imported in the country almost the same time by another company called Nairobi Power Bikes. Yeah, Nairobi Power Bikes. I believe I got that one right. Nairobi Power Bikes. They have some retro differences, although if you do not have a lot of information about these bikes, you may not know the difference. To start with, this bike, the one I'm riding right now, does not have an oil cooler. Yeah, that is one thing that this one is missing. The other one that was imported by Power Bikes has an oil cooler, and oil coolers are very important these days. For a motorcycle that doesn't have liquid cooled engine, doesn't have a coolant radiator, oil coolers come in handy because they help maintain the oil temperatures the lowest possible so that the engine doesn't overheat, the engine doesn't overwork. Yeah, it's a good thing to have on your motorcycle. And this one does not have, but that doesn't mean that this bike is not good. The people who have been riding these bikes that from Singring have not complained about the bike overheating. So I do believe even if it is not oil cooled, doesn't come in with problems of overheating, doesn't have those issues. We are now recording from somewhere called Garden Estate. It is an estate in Nairobi. It's a very cool place, yeah, as you can see, with high-end vehicles, of course. And Tekken being one of the high-end stuff roaming around this road, it feels nice. Have you subscribed to the channel so far? Yeah, I'm still insisting you're missing something if you haven't hit that subscribe button. It is very important for you. Yeah, this is Kenya, this is how we drive. You see? It is an intersection and nobody seems to know exactly who is supposed to go first, who is supposed to go second. But either way, forget it. We are on Tekken 250. This bike has done a total of 26,219 kilometers on the odometer. 26,000 is a lot. If this bike was not good, could have died. I believe so. 26,000 is a lot of mileage for a bike that is not in good condition. Mechanically, design-wise, if it wasn't in good condition, I believe it should be dead by now. But since this one is not dead, that one tells you Tekken 250 is not as bad as many people would think. We have had a lot of stories out there, people dissing the bike, and it is all about preferences, what you love and what you do not love. For me, anything that can go off-road becomes my favorite, and Tekken 250 is a bike that you can take off-road. However, and this is a disclaimer, do not go out there thinking that this is a full adventure motorcycle that you can take to the jungles and jump over rocks. Yeah, the design is quite fragile. The design is quite fragile. You have to be very careful when you take this bike off-road, because even if it has capability to go off-road, this bike to me remains a street bike. It is a street bike with capacity to go off-road. Yeah, get that difference. It is a street bike, but it has capacity to go off-road. These bikes come with spoke wheels. Yeah, spoke wheels. Those rims with wires. So it can go off-road and take some impact when you're jumping over some little maram. But do not go out there thinking that this is a bike you can take to the jungles and jump over rocks, jump rivers, stuff. This is not the kind of Honda XL. Yeah, it is quite fragile, so you have to give it to it for the design. It is not designed to just go anywhere you want, but it can take you to some deep places. I have seen a lot of people going as far as the beaches of Atamu, and they are having a lot of fun with these bikes. I want to stop somewhere here so that we can have a look at how the bike looks from the other side. Yeah, now we have been on the cockpit. There we are looking at the bike. You see? Now this is Tekken. It comes full kit with boxes, but some of the boxes that we are having in this particular Tekken are not the original boxes. When you look at these boxes, you see, this one is stock. This one comes stock, but this one is not the stock box. This is quite big. The stock box comes around 24-26 liters. It's quite small, almost the size of this one. That's the box you get here. But now the owner of this bike has actually went ahead to change this box from the smaller one to a bigger one for personal preference because of the work that he does. This bike also comes with a very comfortable seat, but now again the owner of this bike has gone ahead to get something more comfier. Yeah, there is this seat cover and some pillow of some kind. Very important when you are going for long journeys, because some of these motorcycle seats tend to be crappy. When you go for over 200 kilometers, you start to get itchy, get very uncomfortable, and the ride becomes quite something that is not really enjoyable. You look at this bike, it comes stock with this crash guard, this engine guard. It is very important when you drop the bike, you need to have something to guard the engine. Something I would want you to look at is these tires. You see, these tires. Let's be honest, these wheels are not off-road wheels. They are not fooling anyone. Yeah, they are not fooling anyone. You see that one? Because what we have here is a 17-inch rim. 17-inch rim. Yeah, 17-inch rim. Something else you also need to note is the tire size here is 110 by 90, number 17, rim size 17. This 110 is extra big. This is excess size of a tire for a 250cc motorcycle. Something else, this is not a very good tire for you to go off-road. That size is quite big. Trail bikes require slimmer tires. Yeah, slimmer tires. Look at Honda XR, Suzuki DT, look at KLR, look at BMW GS 650, 800, look at Honda Transalp, Honda Africa Twin, Yamaha Tenere. Those bikes will come with 21-inch front tire, which is actually 90 by 90. It has to be a little bit slimmer than this one for you to navigate properly off-road. But that doesn't mean this bike cannot take you off-road. You only need to put into consideration those small issues. The engine guard is properly done. It can guard your engine in case you drop the bike. You also have the hard guards, which actually have lights. They're very nice. They usually have lights. I don't know how this one is fixed, but they usually have lights. Yeah, this one is an indicator. You see, this is an indicator to actually reinforce what we have here, because this one is not so nice. You see, this during the day you can't see really much about that, but when you have this one, now it makes a lot of sense. This bike also has a windshield. You see, yeah, it has a windshield for you when you're going for long rides. You don't want that fatigue of struggling with wind. You don't want that fatigue of struggling with wind. That is why traveling bikes require to have this one. For me, my take on this bike is this is a touring bike more than an off-road bike. It is a touring bike, and if you take it the way it is, you can have a lot of fun with. You can have a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun, because this bike doesn't consume a lot of fuel. If you look at this tank, this is quite a small tank. Yeah, this is a bike that should give you 27, 28 to almost 30 kilometers a liter. For a 250cc bike, that is more than enough of what you need. For you to travel from one place to another, you just need something that can do 27, 28 to 30 kilometers a liter. You should be fine. This is a carburetor bike. Do you see the carb? That's a carburetor. So this bike is not EFI in any way. Doesn't have a lot of computer stuff, doesn't have ABS, doesn't have a lot of modernity in technology. Doesn't have a lot of it. So this one is a very basic bike for you to maintain. You see, this one does not have an oil cooler. The others have an oil cooler somewhere around here. It is fixed somewhere around there. The ones that came from power bikes, they are called Power Tekken. This is Tekken R Rhine. You see, there is this. You see, there is that one. Tekken R Rhine. They are different from the Power Tekken because of that aspect of having the oil cooler. But this is a basic bike. Nothing much, nothing fancy. You just have some small bike that can take you far. I have people who commute from Nairobi to Garissa. I have some two friends I know who travel all the way to Garissa with this bike. And even the owner of this bike, the 26,000 kilometers we have seen on the odometer, some of it is from Nairobi to Mombasa. This guy really travels, and that's why he has earned these rights. You see, we have a lot of rights here. We also have these rights. This is a guy who travels. So this bike has been to so many places in this country. It is a bike that you can say has done much of what it was required to do. But there is a failure somewhere. I want you to look at this. You see, this is the cork that you open to fill up engine oil, and it has a dipstick. For you to get this dipstick out, you have to get rid of this whole thing. This is a very serious manufacturing fault. For you to get something here, you have to get this thing off. It comes in the way of engine oil. You see, it comes in the way of engine oil because we have a dipstick here. We have a dipstick here, and unfortunately we do not have the grass, the see-through grass that most bikes have for you to check the engine level. This is a fault, and I do believe the company already knows they made a mistake. This one should be corrected. This bike is single cylinder, single plug, and the plug is just somewhere on the side. You don't have to do a lot of things to get the plug out. You can change the plug, you can check. A lot of things you can do in just a few minutes. This bike comes with some funny position of the ignition. You see where it is? It is not on the dashboard compartment. It is actually mounted next to the tank. You see? These are some of the bikes we see from Europe. Bikes like KTM, we have bikes like Ducati, Aprilia. Some bikes that come with the ignition mounted on the gas tank. It's a good design, eh? Makes the bike look premium, but it also makes the dashboard compartment quite small. So your handlebars are just next to the tank. They are just next to the tank. But even if you turn, however direction you turn, the bike still have some nice angle for you to move around. It's a good bike. I haven't seen anything that can make me complain. Yeah, just the switches are just basic. Everything is basic. This guy has added some charger, you see. Yeah, this guy has added some mobile phone charging system, which comes in handy when you are traveling for long distances. You don't want to just be offline because you had some issues with your phone. Your battery went off, something went wrong. You don't want those things to happen and compromise the safety of your ride, because if you are riding for long distance and your phone is off, trust me, you are not safe, because if anything happens, you don't even have a way of asking for help. You don't want to risk having that. This bike is a nice one because it is small, yeah, small size. Even if it is a bit tall, it is small in terms of weight. It is also small in terms of power. This bike cannot scare anyone. Even if you are fresh from a riding school, you will have a lot of fun with this bike. Yeah, you will have a lot of fun with this bike. There is one more thing that we need to do, is to check on the exhaust system. You see, this bike has a dual exhaust system. Have you ever seen a bike that looks like this? Yes, I can tell you where this one was borrowed. There is a motorcycle called Yamaha XTZ660 Tenere. Yamaha XT660Z Tenere, that is the bike that looks like this. The brake light, the exhaust system, yeah, and it is an adventure bike, an adventure version of XT660. Can we have the sound of the bike? Yes, I believe we can. One thing you have to know it is, this bike has a gear indicator. You see? That bike has a gear indicator, see? It has a gear indicator. This one is so good for beginners because you want to know the gear you are riding on. Something else that this bike comes with, you see the neutral light? Yeah, you have the N, the green N. The indicators definitely are there. But we also have a fuel gauge. You see? Fuel gauge. It also has a clock. The RPMs and the speed. That's the odometer readings. This bike comes with most of what the beginners would want to see. You want to see the speed you are doing, you want to see the RPMs, you want to see your fuel, to know that you are safe on the highway, you want to know the clock. You need to know for how long you've been traveling. You see? You need to know some of these things. They are very, very necessary when you are riding, because they keep you informed about the ride, how the ride is doing. Let's get the engine sound. Yeah, it's quite a responsive bike, eh? You see? And both of them are working. Do not make a mistake of thinking that they are just there for show. Both of them are working, although they are just connected somewhere down here. Yeah, somewhere down here you have them connected. You see, this is the exhaust pipe, this one, exhaust pipe, and it is this one. You see, so it is just one exhaust that is divided into two. Makes the bike look good, but I don't know how much of impact it has on the engine sound or whatever, because it is a single cylinder. It's a single cylinder. There's nothing much you can expect from a single cylinder in terms of a sound. You hear that? Doesn't have a lot of vibrations. It's a good bike. It is a good bike, and I can recommend anyone who want to start their street life with small rides off-road. This one can be a good bike. Have you subscribed to the channel? Do you think now this is a bike you can consider if you are getting into riding? Or maybe you want to upgrade from a smaller bike, maybe 150cc or 125cc. Maybe you want to change from a 250cc sport version into something like a dual sport of some kind. There's a bike that you can just take. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Keep you safe on the highway. See you around. See you next time. Remember those magic buttons: subscribe and bell icon for notifications. Two Wheels Paradise. My name is Meshach Samson Minor.